Hi everyone, Neville here. Dried flowers have long been used to celebrate flowers and their beauties year-round, and they are as easy to dry as dried herbs. And I'm going to show you how. It's that simple. Look, dried flowers are beautiful, and you can use them not only as a great way to celebrate the seasons, but a great way to save your seeds as well, because sometimes you can just take the poppy seeds, or in this case this cotton, and just save the flowers when they're just about spent and dry them. Then you've got the flowers to enjoy and then harvest the seeds again in the spring. But one way I love to do these pretty little delicate flowers, the pansies, just take the heads and snip the heads off and press them under a book. It's such a beautiful thing to do. Open that paper towel up, drop your flower heads in. I like to make a little note of the date that I did them as well, and put it on the calendar, on my phone even now, because I'll forget they're in this book, and just put them right in the middle of the book and press them in and under a bunch of books, and that way that pressure will make all the moisture go away, and you'll have those flowers pressed beautifully to put in a photo album perhaps, out of direct sunlight, in a frame, that sort of thing, that you can enjoy for years. It's a great way to have your wedding flowers preserved forever and ever. Another thing is silica sand. Now, silica sand's been used for a long time. Often you see those little packages when you get electronics, and it's just that little sand in there that says, "Do not eat." Well, don't. It is sand though, and it sucks the moisture right out of everything. Now, these are flowers that I did some time ago. You can see as I'm taking these out, I've got some hyacinths that I dried a long time ago, and those little hyacinth blossoms are beautiful, delicate, just signs of spring. And now I've got them that are going to be forever. Great for an instant potpourri. And I even dried some orchids in here. Look at that delicate orchid. And that is stunning, stunning, stunning. Hit that with a little bit of lacquer, and you could use that for floral jewelry very effectively. I think I've got a bigger one in here too. A bigger Cattleya orchid that I dried. Come out here, people want to see you. Look at this beauty. Look at that. Stunning. So sometimes when you've got a special flower from a wedding or a garden flower that you think, oh, I'll never have like that again, just preserve it in some silica sand. It's so simple, it's so pretty. Leave it in there for probably 2 or 3 weeks, or until you're going to use them. I mean, they've been sitting in here for a long time. Another way to dry flowers, so simply, depends on the flower. Things like allium and larkspur and other flowers tend just to dry very well on their own in a vase. So just put a little bit of water, this has got a little bit of water in the bottom of this vase, and leave them sit. And as they naturally drink the water up, they will dry beautifully, and you'll be able to have them. One of the tried and true ways to dry flowers is to hang them upside down. Yes, peonies will dry. Beautiful. Pick them when they're not quite fully open and hang them upside down to dry. And give them lots, don't put a whole bunches of them together. Give them a little room to dry. I wrap them with a rubber band because as the stems dry, they shrink in size, of course. So if you just tie them with a bit of string, you run the risk of them getting too loose and falling out. Hang them upside down in a cool, dry place with some air circulation so they don't get moldy and mildewy, and they will dry beautifully and keep their color really well. You can also use these for potpourri if you just want to pull the petals off and just put them on a sheet, put them in the spare bedroom in a spare bed, leave them there for a while, and they'll dry out beautifully for you. Even roses again, I like to hang those upside down and let them dry naturally, and you'll be able to use them in a wreath. There are flowers, of course, that depends on the time of year, like I'm thinking hydrangeas. The hydrangeas that we have around in where I live, the hydrangea PG varieties, they're the ones that we see that are great big fluffy ones in the fall, quite often right before a hurricane. So we'll see them have a little bit of pink on them. Wait till they get that little bit of pink going on so they start to discolor, and that's when they dry very well. You can even just feel them on the plant itself. When the flower starts to have that little bit of a dry feel to it, that's when you can harvest them. And I generally use those immediately in fresh as they are, in a wreath or something, and let them dry naturally on their own. But even things like some of the wild grasses and berry pods and all these sorts of beautiful flowers, eucalyptus, and like I said, the delphinium, just take them, hang them upside down, let them dry, and enjoy them. Now, to care for dried flowers, of course, they're dry, so you don't want them in a lot of humidity, which is really important. So try not to put them in a place where there's a lot of moisture going on. Like a bathroom is really the best place to put a lot of dried flowers. And because they are a dried flower, they tend to fade very easily, so keep them out of a direct sunlight as well and away from a heat source, and they will survive beautifully for you and stay well. So, that said, stay happy, Be well and ever mindful of the needs of others.